So, yeah, hello everyone, and welcome back to another part of our Pop Arena series, where I analyze my own tournament games so that you can avoid my mistakes in tournament games yourself. And this one here was a perfect example of how not to do tournament picks and bans. As I picked Chandra as the map here. Picks and bans, I didn't want to play any of the classic maps. I wanted to play one of the OG maps. I hoped you wouldn't ban Urban Frontlines, so that was my hope, but got banned. And then I picked Chandra because that's a nice, big open map with balanced zones, and I really miss it. And I hated that it got voted out, but I also kind of played it more 2v2 than 1v1. And yeah, what I knew about it was 2 or 3 millimeters are strong. I want to ban a couple of 2 or 3 millimeter divisions. Yeah, first Canadian, HQS here, also pretty annoying on the map. Mnet still always annoying. It's a pretty wide map. 79th, just really strong. First cap was a really throwaway ban because I didn't quite know what to ban. I should have banned Prunetta. It is by far the best pick. I could have blind picked it as well. I didn't feel comfortable because I haven't played it in a long while. And I have played the Dutch quite a bit, more CLKA than 4E. I should have played CLKA here as well. It would have been the better pick in that matchup, though it would not have been a good one either. Brunetta is the best NATO division to pick. There is an argument to make that a couple of T72 divisions could be similarly strong on the map. I believe Brunetta for sure is the best NATO and maybe the best pick ever, so really good job here by CoolerMann. Really bad job here by me with 4E. And yeah, we will get here into the decks in a second, and we can talk about there why that is. Because Stinky, aka CoolerMann here, has a deck that brings around the good, strong artillery that can dominate my Eyehawks. I only have 1 card of Eyehawks, so that is already annoying. The F-15 completely dominates the air. My short-range fighters don't stand a chance there to get anywhere, so I can't use them. Helicopters, also really good in the opener on that map, and he has 20mm autocannon ones, which I can't immediately counter because I don't have any forward deploy AA or anything that can run into that, because I can't send my fighters into it, so I have to give him all the space for the 20mm helicopters. The AMXs and the VECs, really annoying recon, and the Spanish infantry with the C90 is frustrating to get out of the forest, whilst their 40mm grenade launcher can cost efficiently hold the sides where you don't want to put an AMX-30, and the AMX-30 with a lot of HE power can stop infantry that is unsupported as well, and has enough capabilities together with the TOW2s to keep open spaces locked down once you have captured them, and with what we just talked about, you can capture them on the map quite nicely. Does make it annoying for the enemy rear line. Whilst 4E, the only thing good on the map basically is the M110. The AA is okay. And yeah, I remembered Layer 2's being good on it, but that was the 2v2 variant of the map. I just completely whiffed there. The autocannon ones are pretty decent as well, the YPRs, but they get dominated by MX-30s. They get dominated by the C90s in the closer range fights as well. So that is a problem there. And yeah, I tried to play it from that perspective. I kinda knew that I fucked up once the pick and ban was done. I still tried to do it. Let's see how that all plays. And yeah, my hope in this one was that I still could maybe get a Leo 2 ball online. That was the dream without losing too many points in the early game. With maybe holding on to that hill here. Issue for my deck is that I don't have anything cost efficient against the MX-30s. I don't have any cheap Milan launching IFVs. I don't even have ITOs. I only have TOW2s. Those are pretty good against the AMXs. They can one-shot them, but you don't get that many, and they are really expensive. So I needed to somehow keep the front line in the middle together and then be able to push out, but I knew I would lose a good amount of space somewhere, just didn't know where. Tried to hope that I can keep my KCT Volcaners alive so that my Leo 2s can get some kills and then maybe push through somewhere in the late stages, but CoolerMann, too good of a player here on the other side. He absolutely knew how to dominate my opener. Brought around AMXs here, brought around the HR recon helicopters, the F-15 to not by accident lose the helicopters here to anything, and the helicopters immediately got to it. Via 1 of 5s here trying to get disengaged, but the F-15 immediately got for them. And yeah, the HRs here immediately dealing with some of my recon infantry. TOW2 went too far. Bad micro there on my end. Yeah, Cheetah here pushing forward, pushing them back, trying to at least get into the middle, but already losing this forest here against the Recon AMX-30s with their strong 19 penetration, with their good availability currently. Big issue, like that unit being buffed really put together with the C90 buff the Spanish onto absolute top tier territory currently when it comes to divisions, especially after 14 bans. There are a few divisions that currently can keep up with the division here. And yeah, as you can see, in the north, I am now stuck. I can't really do much here. The enemy infantry is just as good as mine. The Dutch infantry is not known for being great. I needed my autocannons there to do something, but he has enough autocannons and ATGMs and tanks to throw around with his division to be able to at least have something everywhere. He can do stuff like this with this VEC that can try to ambush my rear here. I knew something like this would likely happen, so I kept an eye open for it. But I also got lucky here. That one I actually did get killed with the Leo 2 here before anything major happened. But enemy already in my rear zone, already on a tick. Tier 105 trying to get around, and Leo 2 A4 here just not the solution on this matchup. Getting an AMX-30 here at least killed with my Nantres. That was nice with a side shot. So it didn't all go bad, but I was already on the back foot here at this point. AMX-30s in my zone here. Leo 2 now trying to push this, but I needed some successes here, and I didn't really get them. Good smoke there. AMXs didn't get killed, so I couldn't read the whole zone here with that, and the enemy could get an ITO in it. And AMX-30s here moving around as well. Leo 2 eats a frontal shot. Bad micro there. I got a F-15 AT with my AA, but the enemy knew where my AA was because of it, and I didn't have the time to micro it, so immediately lost my IHawk against that, meaning that I was down to only 2 IHawks, meaning that F-15s in the future would have an easier time. I tried to push in the north. That was my hope, that I maybe could do something there, but like at least keeping it also defensive there against the enemy. And yeah, knew the tick here would be annoying. Trying to get the CV in here was priority because being up against the +2 on this map is painful. But really good usage here of the Fusileros and the Zapadores in the forest. Trying to run me over here. Nantres moving in from the other side here, but my infantry is just outclassed. And my YPRs against the C90s can't assist on this map. The forests are too deep, and they can't push in close to give fire support, and you can't even stay a bit away from the forest because the 635 meter quick rate of fire launchers are too good, and you also can't face check them with any of my tanks. Like even Leo 2A4Cs can't face check them, and that's a big issue. Yeah, I knew the enemy would use artillery. I knew I had to keep up there. The game, if I had any hope of getting through the game, would go long, and yeah, this is one of those losses that just can't happen in situations like that. The TOW 2s here, too good, just got the kill there. AMX-30 in the south got killed, but enemy already in my zone here, and I don't have enough recon to immediately go into a counterattack. That maybe, if you see it here now, could have been my window of opportunity if I would have had one more recon unit around. Actually pushing over this field here could have been the one moment where I could have maybe broken enough units, but with the pressure on me here, and my focus also being on the north at that moment, I didn't really have the time to micro in the centers, so the enemy did keep me busy enough, did keep the pick up, and could now put more ATGMs, more strong toes into all the defensive pushes. And that really shows you how important the openers are, because I'm now constantly trying to keep up with the enemy's just slight push over the middle of the map, which obviously on this map is already harder to do. So props to CoolerMann to find a way. MR10 here did survive. Unfortunate for me. I at least did catch it with counter battery, but yeah, got the fighters with my Hawks, so I did get something good out of all of this as nonetheless. +2 here, really painful. YPRs trying to get around, and yeah, Leo 2A4 is now pushing through the middle. Really, this should have been used more. I should have used it more with the KCT cannons. I was too shy. That was my one opportunity, but I had too much on mind the big late game push, and yeah, when I lost this game was basically over, because with that I now didn't have a pushing force in the center that could kill anything anytime soon. Other Leo 2 A4C died at the same moment, and with that I lost my Leo 2 A4Cs, which are the only tanks that really can tank something frontally in my deck. And yeah, with that the game was officially over. I fought back here in the south. I tried to clean up the front line and tried to get some KD, but the point tick was too far ahead, and the enemy could throw VCs into my rear and stuff like that. Always threaten my rear line, so I still had to be cautious at any given moment across the map. MX is here, good micro. Like, CoolerMann really played this well. Uh, Knew where he could leave it a bit open, because I couldn't. I would have had to take risks to actually punish it, and yeah, I didn't take those risks. Jinite, good movement here, getting another Leo with the amazing C90, and yep, really, really good pick there with the Spanish. They are an absolute powerhouse right now, but also, yeah, really well played here. The execution came down to a really solid measure as well. I don't believe the F-15s in the early game and so on were needed. A couple of risky ones that didn't work out there for CoolerMann, meaning that I still have a front line and stop the tick here from time to time, but being 1000 points behind on Chandra is pretty massive. I tried to get it in the north, but he reacted quickly enough up there to keep me busy. MX-30 up there keeps me up. Enough Lux here around to stop any infantry push. And a lot of infantry already died up there, and now the infantry can get back into the forest here with 11-man squads with C90s that I can't push close with anything else but infantry, and my infantry is not strong enough to beat them. That's why I should have picked CLKA. CLKA would have still had a decent core of Leo 2s that I could have used in the middle, and Leo 2s are just not good when you leave them alone. Like, Leo 2s are only good when you micro them, and 4 Leo 2s is the maximum you can effectively micro, whilst Commandos could have held the forest. I would have had Eyehawks, I would have had helicopters, which are really helpful on the map as well, and OHs for the opener as well, against his helicopters. I didn't pick that. I still believe CLKA would have been the weaker pick. I should have picked Veneta in the end, though I likely would have played it worse than CoolerMann, so it likely would not have worked out either. So, yeah, in the end, I should have banned it instead of first Cav. But, yeah, really, really good indicator of how much of a difference a good pick and a bad pick can make. And fourth Divisa, I didn't play it optimal either, but neither did CoolerMann with his division. He played good. He played exactly what he needed to do to play to the advantages his division got, but micro-wise, it wasn't a great gameplay that completely outplayed me in that regard. He still lost units here that were a bit unnecessary, for example, and stuff like that, but so did I here in the north and so on. But he knew the win conditions, and he got them all locked down from minute one. He knew what the way to victory was, and yeah, picked it there. Blind pick, best of ones. If you get counter picked like that, it is really tough, but it was 100% my fault. Like, he analyzed the map, the division's band, and picked the optimal NATO division. And I picked a pretty stupid one. A really, really stupid one. Like, yeah, these artillery pieces do well, so do mine, but mine just can't keep up with all the stuff that he can throw around fast. My key units are pretty low numbers, and yeah, we'll now have one last big blob trying to move forward, but he has that all on lockdown. Milan 2s and all around. MXs all around. YPR can't do much. And Leo 2's here. Stopped in front of the TOE2 wall as well. So yeah, killed some BMR lugs, trying to push forward here in the south. Actually get a good couple of kills, but there's still enough to defend down there as well. I can't get in there either. And with that, the game was over. GGVP there to CoolerMann. And yeah, if you look at the replay analysis, it will show us that as well. It was a domination in initiative from start to finish. An absolute rollover here by CoolerMann over me. Yeah, just based on the replay analysis, it's not that much higher here. It even has me here up with the initiative at the beginning. I believe that is totally wrong. So that's something that for sure maybe should be. The little helicopters should be higher up there with the initiative. But it drops right after, and yeah, hard lethality is a big issue as well. I can't deal with the AMXs. My soft lethality is behind from the get-go as well. My air lethality never had a chance against the F-15s. So yeah, it was just a mispick for the map and a really well executed play on the other side. And games can go like that. Really, really well played by CoolerMann. Really terribly played by me. When it comes just to the picks and ban, and the execution in the game plan was better on CoolerMann's side as well. Keeping up the points, keeping up the KD from start to finish. A well executed offensive there from the other side. And that shows you, even after analyzing a shit ton and casting a shit ton of tournaments, I still do mistakes like this. So, yeah. If you're a new player, don't be too frustrated about it, even though I'm still frustrated about these games. But yeah, try to put a check behind it and get into the next one and try to take something away from it. I for sure did here. Yeah, never gonna leave the best division open and not pick it when I am on a matchup like this, like on Chandra or stuff like that. Like, there are some fun picks that I will have in the upcoming games as well, but usually they also still fit the map quite well. And yeah, this one just was a terrible pick for the map and then got punished by the best pick for the map. So GGVP here to CoolerMann, and I hope to see you all in the next one.